Want to know how I lost a $90,000 commission check? As an account executive over the last 3.5 years, this was by far my most painful loss. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 critical mistakes that I made on this particular deal and 3 ways I've adjusted from making these mistakes. Mistake number 1, being single-threaded. What does single-threaded even mean? It means whenever you're only engaged with one point of contact within the organization. We made this mistake and we ended up finding later on in the deal, multiple end users who were actually trialing our solution weren't happy with the testing and were coming across challenges left and right. We weren't able to address them because we were only tied to one specific person. Mistake number 2 was not maintaining a give-get relationship with our customer, right? Whenever he asked for anything, an extension to the trial and a discount, we essentially just gave it to him without positioning anything in return. Third mistake, not leveraging team connections. I found out late in the deal that one of our executives was actually great friends with one of the other company's executives. We found this out after everything had fallen apart, and at that point, it was already too late. Now, let's talk adjustments, right? Adjustment for lesson number 1, okay? How do you not be single-threaded? Well, what you do is make it clear to your champion early on in your discovery call that you're gonna have to engage with all end users of the solution before heading into a POV. And if that's not possible for whatever reason, right? You know, what we do is we create a group Slack channel and we make sure we invite every single end user that's trialing the solution onto that Slack channel. And I make sure, right, as we have our weekly POV calls, if they're not able to make those calls, I'll direct message each individual within Slack. You know, what challenges are they coming across? What do they wish they could really be leveraging out of the solution? And then from there, I find that they're a lot more willing to open up because they're not in a public setting, right? They're not in a group meeting to where sometimes a lot of these, you know, end users, right? They feel uncomfortable voicing their frustrations and challenges on a group call. So whenever you do it on a one-to-one level, you know, you're gonna find that a lot of them are gonna be a lot more willing to open up and cooperate with you. Now, the adjustment I've made for lesson number 2 to ensure that we maintain a give and get relationship is knowing what I can leverage, right? Having that already in the back of my mind. What can I ask for in return whenever a customer asks me for a deeper discount or a trial extension? What could I go to? Could I ask them for a case study in return? A faster signature, right? And getting a contract in place at a faster time. Knowing these things and keeping these in the back of my mind readily available helps me heading into those negotiation conversations. And for our third adjustment, leveraging team connections, what I actually do before any first call that I have with the customer is I'll go on LinkedIn, and if you have a Sales LinkedIn Navigator, you can see this. Whenever you're looking within a company's organization and looking at contacts, you're able to see team connections, right? Who's mutually connected to some of these people within that organization. And whenever I find those mutual connections, I'll reach out to our team internally and let them know, hey, we're actually planning for this call. You know, here's my due diligence on the company. Do you think you could reach out to this person and maybe see what we can get and what intel that they'd be willing to share? Doing that early on can put you in great position in the long run on closing and winning that deal. Now, hopefully, if you're an account executive, you don't have to go through these painful losses and lose a $90,000 commission check. But I'm curious, post in the comments below, what were some of your biggest losses and what were some lessons or a lesson that you learned? And feel free to post the dollar size in commissions that you missed out on. Maybe it'll make me feel better. Maybe it won't.